How many times have you started strong on Monday, workouts planned, meals prepped, motivation sky high, only to feel like you failed by midweek because life got in the way? You miss one workout, one healthy meal, and suddenly you're thinking, what's the point? That's the all or nothing mindset. And it's the number one reason so many smart, capable midlife women stay stuck. But here's the truth. You don't need to push harder or be more disciplined. You need a strategy that fits your life, not the one that fights it. In today's episode, I'll show you how to ditch perfection, build momentum that lasts, and set goals that actually stick without starting over every Monday. This is the show for midlife women who want to stop second guessing and start feeling strong, focused, and fully themselves. I am Heike Yates, a midlife fitness expert and mindset coach. On the Pursue Your Spark podcast, I share simple, no fluff strategies for movement, mindset, and nutrition so that you can stop spinning your wheels and start showing up with strength and confidence. Because thriving in midlife doesn't start with perfection, it starts with one bold step. Strong, confident, fully you. That's how we do midlife. I just recently had a conversation with a new client who said, I have all these fitness goals, like I want to lose weight, I want to get in shape, I want to have better cardio capacity. I mean, of course, all at once, and I want to lose body fat. And she said, I am setting aside 6 days a week to work out because I feel like if I don't work out 6 days a week, this is not worth it at all. And I definitely will not reach my goals if I work out less. And I just scratched my head because this is not the first time I heard this scenario from so many women in midlife that are driven, capable, and tired of starting over with all the programs and the 30-day free trials. If you're ready to stop the start-stop cycle and build habits that fit your real life, then this episode is definitely for you. And we're diving right into why perfectionism is disguised as discipline. Many of us looking for the perfect workout, the perfect weight training routine, and what's perfect seems to be the thing that gets us motivated. But often perfectionism is disguised as discipline. You know, perfectionism looks like if we're perfect, then we are committed. But it's actually a fear dressed as discipline. If we're not sticking to that discipline precisely, we're no good. Let me tell you about a client who tracked everything perfectly. She wanted to lose weight, and she tracked all her nutrition, every gram and ounce. But then one day, she was invited to a party and she couldn't track what she was eating, which if you've been listening to me, you know I'm not a calorie counter or have a scale out and weigh my food. But because of that one day, she quit her entire progress, looking at it as if it never existed. It was not worth the effort. And, you know, I am a triathlete. Now I'm a duathlete, so I swim and I bike. But I thought missing a session, missing a training run meant losing my edge. That, oh my God, if I don't have 60 miles a week when I still used to run, it was like I'm losing strength. I should be doing more. Yeah, the shoulds came out again. But it turns out rest is what made me stronger. And this is a hard lesson to learn for many of us, that looking for perfectionism, that are approaching our lives with perfectionism. And from my experience, that may work well in a business setting, but it may backfire when it comes to our fitness and health because we're so hard on ourselves. So what happens really is real commitment isn't doing it perfectly. It's doing it long enough to receive results. So if you keep trying, starting, like I said, the client who quit after 3 weeks, 3 weeks is not a long time. It is the initial commitment, but then you need to keep going because you need to see what the changes are so that you can progress the way that fits your life that fits where you are right now. If you're traveling a lot for business, that will look very different for somebody who has a desk job and goes home every day. So keep that in mind. Your life is really what we need to put front and center. If you're ready to move past all or nothing or perfectionism, this is the mindset shift that opens the door for lasting transformation. And I want to emphasize the lasting transformation, because 6-week little quick fixes or reading a little handout like the 10 top things to do to lose body fat, you know them already. It's time to really look at what works for you and ditch that all or nothing thinking. Let's talk about how much energy it costs each time to restart. You lose momentum and your energy you could have used to move forward instead of, now I'm starting again. And I talked about this in another episode, and I call this the energy leak. And the energy leak is a real thing. How many times have you started something, stuck with it for a while, then you missed a day and you quit? And then you go back to square one. And going back to square one is frustrating. It is discouraging, and it makes us feel like we're losers, which we are not. Because if you miss a day, it doesn't matter. You just keep going on that missed day. Let's say you're doing a 30-day squat challenge. I've done some of those too, a squat challenge. So you miss it on Sunday because you just don't feel like it, or you're going for a walk with your husband or spouse or significant other. That's not a reason to quit. It doesn't mean you're losing momentum. It doesn't mean you are not cut out for this. And it doesn't mean that you have not enough willpower. I've talked about willpower before too. You don't need willpower. You just need to reframe to, instead of saying, oh, I will do this every day, commit to, I'll move 4 days a week, 4 days this week to build energy and confidence, and go from there. Because the longer we stay consistent, the more we see the benefits of what you are trying to achieve. You can't build confidence on guilt, feeling guilty that you missed the workout again. Now you're starting over again, and you're telling your girlfriends, oh man, this is not working for me, which it may be. That's not the right approach for you where you are in your life. But you build it on keeping promises to yourself, even the small ones. Remember, I'm always talking about baby steps. Keeping the promise, I can do this. Yes, I can. I can move forward. I don't have to be perfect. And I don't have to keep holding myself to higher standards than I need to. Give yourself some grace. You do not need more motivation. You need a structure that supports your life, not drains it or leaks it. And that's what we build inside the Pursue Your Spark Blueprint as well. Hey, it's Heike. Just a quick little thank you while you're here. My ebook, Pursue Your Spark, is on sale right now, and the audiobook's coming November 28th. Super exciting. Both make a great gift. It's something any woman can use to feel strong and inspired. You can find them on Amazon, Apple Books, or Spotify. But I also will leave a link in the show notes so you can grab your copies and audio right there. We all want progress, but progress needs to stick. And when it's not aligned with your goals and values, then it's most likely not going to stick with what you're doing, no matter how hard you try. And you will get frustrated and you're thinking, okay, I don't have enough willpower. I can't do this. I'm not cut out for this. And I want you to stop saying this or telling this to yourself. The reason your goals don't stick isn't lack of willpower. It's that they don't reflect your true value. So you have to dig a little bit deeper and saying, what is it really that I want to do? Why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I saw this cool lady on Instagram or other social media doing something? And right now, everybody is working on their pull-ups. And honestly, I really suck at pull-ups. When I used to be a bodybuilder like 30 years ago, I even sucked at pull-ups then. I could pull my whole body weight up 3 times and I was really, really strong, but it just wasn't for me. So as you may have heard that too, I'm working on handstands now. Let's see how this is going, but I'll keep you posted on that one. But why am I doing the handstands? For me, I just wanted to see if I can. I never could as a kid, but I thought it was an interesting endeavor. But you may change your goals. You may think about your goals. Instead of saying, I want to lose 10 pounds. What is the reason? Why do you want to lose those 10 pounds? Think about it. There's many reasons. Because you feel better. Your clothes have gotten too tight after a holiday. That you also want to just feel stronger, that you will feel more energized. A good reason could also be you want to feel strong enough to hike with your grandkids. I have grandkids, and our little Lila is going to be 4, and she's quite the firecracker, and we always do Pilates together. You may have seen some of the reels on Instagram. But think about, what is it really that you want? What is your real goal? Not the 10 pounds I want to lose, not the I want to be stronger. We have to be more specific. I want specificity. Real progress comes from connecting your goals with joy and purpose. Why am I doing this? This is also something I talk about in my book, Pursue Your Spark. And it's in the mindset shift, where igniting your mindset, shifting from rigid to realistic goals. And this brings me also back to what I said earlier. Repeating the same thing that I said with, this program worked before, it will work again. It most likely won't, because it worked the first time, but it didn't stick. It didn't stick around. No matter what you tried, you may have gained weight, lost the fun, the joy of it. And also the other habit I talk about in Pursue Your Spark is the thrive, which is one of the habits. You have to build sustainable systems that match your lifestyle, not somebody else's lifestyle. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So ditch that all or nothing mindset that this is something you're stuck with, that this is just not for you. When your goals align with your values, you stop chasing results and start living those results. In my first marriage, I always insisted that on Saturdays, we clean the house or the apartment, because I wanted it to look perfect before the week starts. My first husband said, why do we have to always do this on Saturday? This is when we're off. This is when we can enjoy ourselves. We can do stuff and, do day trips. But every Saturday, you're like, all right, it's time to clean. It's like to make everything spick and span. And it took me a while to let go of the guilt of the apartment not looking perfectly in order. And I learned this from my mom. What happens if I have an accident and somebody comes into my house and, oh goodness, it is a big old mess? Well, I let go of this perfectionism for a while now, for a long, long time. So I'm tidying the house up during the week. So it's never going to look perfect, but I can enjoy my Saturdays off, and I can enjoy time with my husband and do the things I want to do instead of being perfect and having the perfect apartment. Because if somebody comes in, they're probably not going to say, "Ooh, did she dust today?" So, but my mom thinks that this is still the case. So let's think about, what is the all or nothing mindset, and how do we ditch this, and how do we set goals that actually stick with ourselves? Perfectionism is not progress. It holds us back. And it holds us back in a not good way, because we're feeling guilty. Guilt wastes our energy. It creates an energy leak, like I said earlier, and it doesn't align with the goals that last. And as always, here on the Pursue Your Spark podcast, we take action, because without action, nothing will happen. We think about it, we write it down, and then we don't do anything. So pick one goal that feels all or nothing. Reframe it so it works with your life. Instead of saying, I'll work out every day, I'll move 4 days. Now, I didn't say weights on Monday, Pilates on Tuesday, Wednesday I do bands, Thursday I'm going to do bodyweight exercises. I said move in any which way that you feel is right for you right now. Or when you say, I give up sugar, sugar is evil. Well, in some form or fashion it is, but not with natural sugars. So instead of saying, I'll add fruit twice a week, that doesn't include sugary drinks, sugar in the coffee. It just adds more fiber to your diet. If you have a sweet craving and you eat a peach, that could actually satisfy your sweet craving. So see the difference? It's not the all or nothing, I'll give up sugar. No, I'll eat fruit twice a week. I still get some sugar, but natural sugar. And it's a great way to rephrase and get out of this stuck feeling of all or nothing. And I'm curious to hear which one you're going to pick or what yours will be. But if you're ready to turn those small shifts into a real system, that's exactly what we do inside my Pursue Your Spark Blueprint, where we take those concepts and make them your new normal. When I stopped aiming for perfection or being perfect, I finally started seeing consistent progress, not just in fitness, but in life, as you heard my story about cleaning the apartment every Saturday. And I want to leave you with, you've proven you can start over. You've done it many times. Now it's time to stay the course with confidence, consistency, but also compassion. Give yourself a break. Nobody is going to measure you and say, oh, you missed a workout. Oh, your diet isn't perfect. But pick something that you need, that you want to do, that fits your lifestyle. And you can also start by grabbing a copy of my book, Pursue Your Spark, your guide to escaping midlife traps, reclaiming confidence, and living fully. This will also be a good read for you to really embrace what I'm talking about in the all or nothing mindset. And there is a chapter about all or nothing in the book as well. If perfection kept you stuck in fitness, it's probably showing up somewhere else too. What happens when that same pressure shows up in your reflection? Next week, I'm joined by Dr. Mary Alice Minna to talk about midlife skin, what's changing, what's normal, and what you can finally stop worrying about. Because confidence doesn't come from the mirror. It comes from what you believe about the woman looking back. Don't miss this one.